Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a fall makeup slash foundation routine that has been my go-to. I always like to switch up my products through the seasons, and you guys know that I love fall, so I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and sit down and share with you guys what I have been loving for my complexion routine for the fall time. So I just wanted to share it with you guys and walk you guys through the process and why I use certain products. So I hope that you guys enjoyed watching that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Also that post notification bell, that makes sure you never miss my videos. And also don't forget to follow me on my other platforms, Instagram and TikTok, The Mexican Beauty, where you can find me whenever I'm not here on YouTube. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this tutorial. So first things first, I always like to go ahead and moisturize my lips. I'm gonna be using my Milani Fruit Fetish Pumpkin Spice Lip Balm. This Milani Fruit Fetish line is absolutely amazing if you're looking for really good quality lip balms at affordable prices. This one is slightly tinted. The thing that I love about these is that they're so moisturizing and they just really do a good job of not like separating and looking like crusty. So one thing that I like to do for prep is I like to do little eye masks. I feel like for me, I don't know what it's been, but lately I have been suffering from really like dry under eyes, and I've never had that before. I think it's just with age, also probably the weather. I'm 25 and I just feel like this is helpful. So I just like to put these, and I just love gel pads. I feel like they just do such a good job of really hydrating the under eyes. I want to talk about this Trader Joe's Pumpkin Overnight Mask. So I have been so obsessed with this product. If you're somebody that is really looking for a good hydrating face mask to put on at night, this is going to be something you'll really enjoy. It's actually really nice and sensitive friendly. I am able to use it with no problems. Now, if you do have very sensitive skin, I will say use this only for 10 minutes. Don't leave this on overnight. If you don't have sensitive skin, you can, because it is an overnight mask, but it also does say them in the directions, so you'll know if it's something that you can leave overnight or not. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because I've noticed that the times where I wear this at night, the next morning when I do my makeup goes on so well because my skin is so nice, hydrated, and it has like this gorgeous radiance from within, like a glow from within. It doesn't look dewy or anything, but my skin just looks so much healthier, and I really do appreciate that. So I have been obsessed with this. This is another one of those products that I don't use every day, of course. I use it once or twice a week. Really depends on like the day. Like let's say that day I wore a lot of makeup and I just want to deep clean my skin. I'll go in with my exfoliator, and then I go in with this, and it's just like makes the biggest of a difference. And then the next day when I wake up, my skin just feels amazing. Okay, so I removed the under eye patches because the eyes were ready. A primer that I have recently discovered that I have been enjoying because I've been using this the past week or so is the Milani SPF 30 primer. So not only is this going to make sure your makeup lasts all day long, but this is also going to make sure that you have your sunscreen. So I like to just apply this all over on top of my moisturizer. You guys can see I already added 2 layers of product before we go in with our skin tint. And I just feel like that's so important because like I mentioned, this time of the year is when our skin does get dehydrated. So you really want to prep the skin well so that the foundation of the skin tint doesn't look cakey on the skin, doesn't separate on the skin, lays really nicely on the skin, and gives you that beautiful skin-like finish. For me, I like to really go in and just apply the product all throughout. And what's great is that you're getting that sunscreen protection underneath makeup. And now we're going to talk about what we're going to be using for complexion. So I'm going to be using the Beauty Blender Skin Tint. This has been a product I've been using a lot as fall has started, and I feel like the reason why I like it is because it's so lightweight on the skin, but it gives you really great coverage, and it can build up to a foundation-like coverage. So for me, that's always a plus. This is always the worst when you can't open it because your hands are still so like sticky and like squeaky clean from moisturizers. But I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this on the back of my hand. I'm in the shade Tan 1. You guys can see the product. I do have a review on this if you guys wanna watch that, but it's just so lightweight. So I really like how this applies on the skin. And we're just gonna go ahead and do it all over. Then I'm gonna be using my sponge to blend everything into the skin. And the reason I'm using sponge is because I want it to really become one with the skin. And I feel like the sponge really allows you to do that. It also, do you guys see how it literally looks like my skin, but a more perfected version of my skin? And for concealer today, I'm going to be using this concealer that I've been obsessed with. If you have dry under eyes or you like something more natural, you're gonna love this Kosa's concealer. This is also a clean brand, so it's really nice. This one is in the shade 06, and I'm just gonna be targeting it right here in this area, and then also right here, like so. I always like to go with a more brightening color just because I like that brightening effect. I think another reason why I like to go with a lightweight tinted moisturizer or foundation is just because of the fact that I like to really build on top of the foundation with other products, whether it's concealer, powder, or you know, blush, bronzer. So because I use so many layers after I apply the foundation or skin tint, I like to make sure that what I'm applying as a base isn't so thick and heavy, because when you start off with thick and heavy, it only gets more thicker and more heavier. So you want to start off with something that's very lightweight and not too much, so that you can build upon it, but also something that gives you coverage. And I definitely do feel like this skin tint gives me great coverage. So now to set, I'm gonna be using the Palladio Rice Powder that is viral everywhere. I really love this stuff. I'm just gonna use this to set the under eye. Okay, so you guys can now see why it's so important for me to go in with lightweight products, because I use a lot, like I build up a lot. And you guys can just see how nice and lightweight that looks. I just really like this Kosas concealer because it just blends so easily. It gives me the coverage it needs to give me. It's not super heavy where if I do go in with my powder afterwards, it's going to separate or look cakey. I think that brands have done a beautiful job nowadays of coming out with very lightweight makeup that still gives you great full coverage. Because I feel like back in like 2014, 2015, you could only find lightweight products, but the coverage wasn't as full. So I use these two, and you guys can see how everything's starting to shape together. The foundation and the base still looks so lightweight because we're using such lightweight products. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and do a little bit of contour, because that's very important to me. I always like to do my nose contour first, and I always use my Wet n Wild contour stick. Oh my god, it's so funny. Somebody commented on one of my pictures on Instagram. They were like, oh my gosh, can you talk about your nose job? And I was like, damn, my contour must be on fleek. My nose is wide. I have a wide nose. That's just, I've always had my wide nose, but damn, I must be doing a good job doing my contour, because there's no nose job here. This is the nose that I was born with, and I have no plans on changing it. Maybe unless something, like I needed to, like I was in an accident or got hit or something, but I've never thought about it. And here's the thing, with these products, I do have some of that radiance peeking through. This isn't a matte makeup routine. I actually do have a matte makeup routine. If you guys want to watch that, we'll have a link down below, because I do have oily skin. This is more so of just like a routine for the fall that works for me. I feel like the theme for me, especially this year, is just like, I like when my makeup looks and feels skin-like. And I feel like that's the vibe that I want for the fall, because I feel like in the fall time, skin just gets so dry because it starts to get really cold. Like I feel like it's like you went from super hot to like then really, really chilly nights and chilly mornings, and your skin just like, wait, I was not ready for that. So I feel like really prepping it correctly makes a difference. Another thing that I really love, the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This is another really good one. I'm gonna use this one today. And I love the prices for e.l.f. I feel like you can't beat an e.l.f. price. So I think these were $6 or so. e.l.f.'s Putty collection has been straight fire ever since they came out with the e.l.f. Putty Primer. Like, they just dropped gems. So for me, this is one of my favorites, and you guys can see what a difference it makes once you start to bronze the face. And with that same brush, I'm gonna go in and take my Kylie Cosmetics bronzer. I really like this bronzer in the shade Tequila Tan. I feel like it is like that perfect color that isn't too orange but isn't too neutral. It's like the perfect in between. And I like to set the cream bronzer just because I do have oily skin, and for me, I feel like if I don't set, it's not gonna last as long as it would on somebody that has more dry skin, just because my skin does produce oils quicker. So I feel like I need something that's gonna make it really stay in place for a longer period of the day, especially if I'm going to be out all day. And then once we've done that, I go in with blush. So my blush of choice during this fall season is this Milani Cream Blush Kit. These blushes are literally the perfect shades for the fall. You get 3 different shades. You can mix and match them if you want to, or you can wear them individually. For me, it just really depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm in like a more dark mood and I go in with this. Sometimes I'm in a more like neutral mood and I go in with this. I haven't really used this one in the middle, but these 2 on the sides have been like holy grails. So this is like one of my favorites. So for me, I'm obsessed with the e.l.f. Putty brush. This brush is great. You can use this also for a cream bronzer moment, but I love using this to pack on my blush because I just feel like I really press it in nicely. You guys are about to see how good these Milani blushes are though. Like, look at that. Little bit of this goes a long way because if you use a lot, it can be very like intense and dramatic really quickly. So literally just one pat and like, look how much product you get. So I apply that here. So final step is adding the setting powder. So I've been talking a lot about these 2 products right here, my Real Techniques Air Blend Sponge and the NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop Won't Stop Powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my sponge. I don't wet this sponge, it's just dry. And I go in the areas where I get very, very dewy. So around the nose and also right along the mouth is where I get very, very dewy. And not only does this really set the makeup, but I feel like it also really blurs out all those enlarged pores that I tend to have right here. So if I want to touch up with a powder through the day, this is what I would recommend because it is just so good. It will literally make your makeup look like you just did it. So I would recommend using these 2 if you are wanting to retouch with a powder through the day because they make such a difference. And you guys see how it like gives you like that perfect matte makeup look, but it doesn't look flat on the skin. And of course, the final step is going in with a setting spray. So I have been really loving the One Size setting spray. This is the Until Dawn Mattifying Setting Spray. This is great. I have a review on this if you guys want to watch it, but it really does keep my makeup locked into place all day. It does make it look a little bit more on the oil-free side for longer. And I also love how this sprays. It's very, very fine, so it's not going to spray on the face and like just like have like these huge droplets of water all over your face. So that's a plus. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm definitely gonna be picking up the larger size during the Sephora sale. I don't know when that is. They haven't announced it yet. I feel like it's usually the beginning of October, maybe the beginning of November. I don't know, but I am ready, Sephora, for your sale. And that's pretty much what I do. And I just get a really good perfected makeup finish. It works great with all different types of skin, but especially oily skin. This has been my go-to and it's gonna be my go-to for the fall because look at all the steps we did. It gives you that finish that you would think you would get from like a full coverage matte foundation, but your skin just looks and feels more hydrating and refreshed. Okay guys, so this is the finished look doing my fall makeup foundation routine. I hope that you guys really found this super helpful and perhaps inspired you guys to, you know, see what you're gonna be using this fall for your makeup routine. I think it's always important to kind of switch out some products just to kind of see what works best depending on climate and everything because our skin does change quite often. Also, I wanted to share with you guys the products I've been just loving right now and the products that work well with my skin when these colder seasons start to approach. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.